What's up, everybody? I wanted to do a quick video on the 5 mistakes that people make when they are creating a vapor blasting cabinet. The first one that comes to mind when you're trying to do it cheap and just get yourself rolling, like the way I did it. I actually bought this cabinet that was already set up, silicone from a friend, and he didn't have a compressor to run it. And so when I took it over, it was just like the cheapest option that I could, minus having to buy the compressor itself. So when getting it going and trying to save money, I obviously don't have a wiper system or a water system to put water up onto the glass. Now, when I wash parts or blast parts and the glass gets covered with media and water, I'll just take the nozzle real quick and just spray it up on the glass just in one spot. Well, when doing that, you start to etch the glass, and after a while it gets really, it just looks foggy. And as you can see, like this spot here, this is like the spot that I always hit with the gun itself, and then it'll just wash everything off the glass. That's mistake number one. You don't ever want to do that, but I don't have a problem with it because I change the glass out maybe like once a month or once every 2 months, depending on how much work I'm doing, which is not that bad considering the piece of glass from our local glass company is like $11. And the silicone is cheap, whatever. So that's mistake number one. Mistake number two is when you buy a Harbor Freight cabinet, these boots or the rubber arms suck. Do not use those. In this, you can see it's wet. They end up leaking. They wear out, and I don't have that much time on this cabinet, so I don't really find it acceptable. But then again, it is Harbor Freight. A lot of people, when they set up a cabinet, I bought a 2-stage compressor. Unless you do your research and you know what you're going to do and you know what your plan is, most people will buy a compressor that's underpowered. Mine is an 80-gallon. It's a 2-stage 5-horse compressor, and it works great for what I do, and I can consistently put out 60 pounds of air when I'm blasting my media. So we're at 3. The fourth one is not setting up your catch can correctly. This can be a little bit tricky. I could have my issue solved very quick, but when you set this up, you're gonna want to have some sort of a boot on here, because when you have your water running with the pump and your slurry, it can splash out. As you can see, my floor is soaking wet, right? And so, yeah, you're just gonna want to have some sort of boot that can catch or just funnel all the material down into the bucket. That's if you're gonna do a closed loop system. I was going to use a tote for mine, but a 5-gallon bucket is easier because I can change the water out faster. I use less media per swap out, and when it gets dirty, it's just easy. So I always run like a 2-bucket system where if I pull this out, I can move this one underneath, grab the garden hose, spray everything out inside the cabinet, and get all of the dirty media out of it, and then I can start fresh with a new bucket. So that would be the fourth mistake. The fifth mistake is not siliconing the cabinet good enough. You think you got it all down, but it still is going to leak. The Harbor Freight cabinet sucks ass. I'm not going to lie. I didn't put the cabinet together, but my buddy who put it together said that like the holes don't line up, which is really annoying. And that's why when you see the videos online or on YouTube, the other guys that have blasting cabinets, they buy the one piece cabinet that works really well, because then they don't have all this bullshit that they have to deal with water leaking. So I have another issue that I think that I could bring up, and this the hole here, I never rigged up a pipe or anything to run down. I just threw duct tape over it because I'm really lazy and I'm not going to have that much time blasting left until we move. And then once I move and I get my new shop, I'm going to get a new cabinet and then do it right. But because I already have this one now, and when the situation came up with buying this cabinet, it worked out really well because it just was like quick, and all I had to do was buy a compressor. And so now that I have one, I will always have it as a backup in case the new one that I build or buy, I don't know if I'm going to buy a commercial one or not, but I will always have one, no matter whether something breaks down or what. But yeah, that's my video, and I hope it helps you guys out. Thanks for watching.